Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Tuesday. We're on Tuesday. And I have to tell you, I'm not going to go into details, but this is going to be an interesting show because I'm feeling all the feels today. I have a lot processing with a lot of my journaling this morning, and it's just kind of blowing my mind. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. So, we'll start with our affirmators card for today. Yesterday was a really good one. It turns out there was some validation for some people with yesterday's card about not keeping score and just, I feel like I need to reiterate this one. Just cutting ties with past conflicts, and I feel like that card really spoke to me today. The cutting ties with past conflicts and make my personal life a clean, shiny slate. So beginning right now, as the card said from yesterday, everything is new. New mindset, new everything. Now, just so you know, new mindsets don't just happen, right? We work towards them. We work towards the healing and siblings moving on the couch over there. We work towards all these things. And so when it says a new beginning and a new mindset, just, every day can be a new beginning and a new mindset. Don't freak out if you take a step back. It's okay. Or don't freak out if you just kind of halt your progress and stay in one spot for a moment. It's okay. It truly is okay. Because everything, when we read this card, make my personal life a clean, shiny slate, beginning this moment, everything is new. We're learning how to get there. I didn't just poof there. I've been on this journey a very long time. Like I said, today would have been my 18th anniversary at my old job, but in a few short weeks, it'll be 3 years since I got laid off or my position was eliminated. And when that first happened to me, I was angry, I was sad, I spiraled, and I spiraled for a very long time. In fact, I may just be coming out of that spiral now. And I was so mad at everybody that I thought might be involved. But now I realize, as I look and I have a different perspective on it, I realize that it was meant to happen. Because without that happening, I wouldn't be the person that is talking to you right now. I wouldn't be this person here in this moment right now if that hadn't happened to me. If, the other day I read a quote, and interestingly enough, in my journal, I just opened up to the page. And it says, this is a quote from Henry Miller: "One's destination is never a place, but a new way of seeing things." And a lot of people may take exception to that quote, and that's okay. But I like the idea of that. Good morning, baby sibling. I like the idea that one's destination is never a place, but a new way of seeing things. I saw that quote the other night while I was journaling, and it really started changing my perspective. And then this morning on the Moon Tarot card thing that I see, not every morning, but it's on Twitter. And today's I did see, and it was talking about clarity and, how you react to things, how your body, mind, and spirit reacts to things. And I realized that things that would have upset me 3 years ago, I'm processing so much differently today. And so again, like I said, I've been up for 3 hours, and in 3 hours, my mind has been blown about 4 times. And one of them, I even had to do a double check with baby sibling because I was like, there's no freaking way that I just had that moment. And I did. And I trust her, and I trust her instincts. And that's why I bounce things off of her in the way that I do. And the fact that she saw it right away, being as busy as she is, made me realize, okay, they're really, my higher powers are really trying to get this point across. So going back to yesterday's card, and it's interesting that I brought it up again because I'm not sure why I did. But when we cut ties with past conflicts and it says, "I cut ties with my past conflicts and make my personal life a clean, shiny slate. Beginning this moment, everything is new." And the next line after that is, "When an old grievance repeats itself in my head, I introduce it to my new head tenets: tolerance and equanimity," which means don't let the negative thoughts live rent-free in your head. Okay, because while I was having all these moments of clarity this morning and all these beautiful insights and whatnot, sorry, it gets really dry up here in the mountains, I also had negative thoughts trying to creep in. And I kept battling them off. And when I did that, all of a sudden this journaling and this just my mind just started blowing after that. And the journaling session I had was just phenomenal. So remember, every day is a new day. And again, just going to reiterate this one last time before we move on to today's card, whatever it is. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new beginning. And like I said, if you were on your healing journey, no matter what part of your healing journey you were on, just remember, even if you take a step backwards, you can still take that step forward again. But you don't have to take a step backwards. Just take a beat. Just stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. When we try to do things too quickly, sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot. And that's when we spiral. That's when we start, taking these steps back and not believing in ourselves. But when we move slowly forward and we start to understand that these different things that happen to us in our lives sometimes can lead to these beautiful moments that you have and teach you what you were truly made of, that's when you realize that the journey is priceless, that it's worth the pain. It's worth, every storm you have had to weather. And every storm I've had to weather, there were times that I thought I was going to drown. There were times when I wanted to drown myself. And you can read into that, and you will probably read correctly into that. And that's just been in the last 6 months. But I found a way. And one of the things that I realized is a lot of the things that happened, I was angry because of how old I am and only finding this clarity now. And I told older sibling, I said, you have people in all different age groups talking about mental health, talking about body positivity. And then there's my age group where a lot of us feel like, well, I'm just, I'm this age, so why bother? You should bother, because I really feel that maybe one of my purposes at being this age and finally understanding the clarity or having the clarity and having this new perspective and knowing that there are going to be times when I trip. There are going to be times when I too will have to take a moment, take a deep breath, take a beat, and just sit there for a while until I'm ready to move forward again. Life is a consistent journey. And just because every day is a new beginning for me, just because I have this perspective and this clarity, doesn't mean that I'm not going to have these moments where I question myself, I doubt things around me. But I'm giving myself these tools now to handle these things. And I realize that, there are going to be people my age that say, all this bad stuff has happened to me, and look how old I am, and only now I'm getting it. And that's where I want to come in. That's where I want to tell them it's okay. As long as you are breathing, as long as you are walking on this earth, it's a moment that you can heal. And it's a moment that you can step into your healing. There is no age limit on that. And I'm in that bracket now where I just want to show people it's okay. And I will help you any way I can. There are people all around me that are my age and older doing the same thing I'm doing. And we all reach the people we're meant to reach. And we all, touch the lives that we're supposed to touch. Sometimes we intermingle with one another and say, hey, and we support one another, and we get the support we need from one another, no matter what age group anybody's in. So I'm telling you, as someone who is within months of turning 50, that it's never too late to start your healing. It's never too late to get on that journey, get on that path, and see things in a different light. All the things that used to hurt me, all the things that traumatized me, all the crap that I've been through in my life, whether it was, what happened to me as a child, the things that happened in, the misunderstandings and my mom not understanding a lot of things I was going through, and just not being supportive in the way I needed her to be supportive. The bad relationships, they've all led me to this point. And they've all reminded me these are the storms I've weathered. But instead of being angry about having to break generational patterns, I realize now that when I look back, without those people being in the positions they were in and the things that I had to deal with, I may not be here today. And I don't mean, yeah, well, because someone will say, well, yeah, if they didn't do all those things to you, you wouldn't have had to heal things. But it was more than just about healing the human experience, it was about healing my soul. And the perspective that I got was they were in positions that were just as bad as mine in some cases, and different traumas, and even the people I know now with their own traumas. And it's how we view them. Because instead of being angry that I had to break these generational patterns or curses or however you want to call them, I'm grateful that I'm grateful that that baton was handed to me and that I was able to finish that race. It was an honor to be able to break those things. It's been an honor to be able to break those patterns, to break those curses. Because somewhere in the lineage of my soul, somebody trusted me enough to know I could be the one to do it. And baby sibling and I have had to do some things together with our own family and patterns. And I won't go into detail because I don't want us to be committed. But for me, and I can't speak for everybody, but for me, instead of being angry about it now, I am proud that somebody trusted me enough to carry that. Well, I don't even know if I want to call it a burden anymore, to carry that responsibility and to end it. To say, it stops here. No more. I am the guardian of this door now. I am the guardian of this pattern, of this generation. And you too can be the guardian of your generation. You too can be the guardian of, all the souls that got you to where you are now. Be the guardian of breaking these patterns. It's all about perspective. And like that quote said, one's destination is never a place, but a new way of seeing things. And that's what this journey's been about. A new way of seeing things. A new way of seeing things with compassion and understanding instead of anger and hate. So, I've yammered enough about that. Let's get on to the card for today. And then we'll get on to self-love lesson number 17. Self-love lesson number 17. Depth. Is this I'm trying to figure out what the heck this is. It looks like, I don't know. I can't tell if it's a turnip, a radish, or whatever it is. It's a vegetable. So, anyways, as new people show up in my life, I look for all the weird, wonderful, complex layers below their surface. I can't be surprised by someone's depth of character unless I'm willing to peel back the outer layers and go a little deeper. It's like the brand new saying goes, it's an onion. Don't judge an onion by its haircut. I scanned this card and I could not find onion. But don't judge an onion by its haircut, which is funny because I want to get my haircut. Whenever I hit a new level in my life. Did you hear that heavy sigh? Older siblings I always complained after I cut my hair. And so older siblings always trying to keep me from cutting my hair. But her and my dad like my hair long. So, and also because they don't want to hear me complaining, I shouldn't have cut my hair. But we'll see what happens. But it's like having a fresh new perspective on things. It's like a fresh perspective, fresh new hairdo. Hair grows. So anyways, again, as new people show up in my life, I look for all the weird, wonderful, complex layers below their surface. I can't be surprised by someone's depth of character unless I'm willing to peel back the outer layers and go a little deeper. It's like the brand new saying goes, don't judge an onion by its haircut. So, I think that also goes for us, right? When whatever journey we're on, whether it's a healing journey, a personal journey, one of just learning new things, we talk about how we should see a person on the inside and not just the outside. But many of us look at ourselves like, yesterday when I was talking about how I would see myself in the mirror and it was like, oh my God, what the hell? And then I changed that perspective and said, you know what? I need to start showing myself some love and compassion. I had to peel away layers. So this just isn't about, peeling away the layers of the new people that show up in your life and getting to know who they are on the inside. It's about peeling back our own layers and learning to get to know the person that we are. It's about, getting a haircut and not judging yourself for it. and just knowing that your hair will grow. So whatever happens with my hair, that's a whole nother story. But you can hear her laughing. But don't be surprised by your depth of character when you go deeper. This is why when we do the self-love lessons, I ask you to ask yourself why that is your answer. Why did you choose that particular thing? Because I want people to go deeper. I want people to peel back these layers of your own self. You know, I want you to see who you truly are. That's what self-love is all about. It's not just about learning how to love yourself. It's about peeling away all of these beliefs that you were, all of these negative beliefs that you may have grown up with or you may have picked up along the way, maybe from traumatic events or bad relationships or bullying or whatever it is. It's about peeling away all those layers and seeing the person that you are. And the only way to do that is to start loving yourself first. And self-love can be very hard. A lot of times we people please because we don't know how to love ourselves, but we know how to love other people. We know how to show them compassion and empathy that we're unable to give ourselves. So people pleasing and making somebody else happy is what fills our cup. But self-love is what needs to fill your cup. It's what needs to be, that liquid in your cup that says, hey, I have enough to give you. Or that soup tureen, right? Where you just ladle out stuff and you still have enough left over for you. Not because you're people pleasing, but because it's like, okay, I need to fill my cup again. But I'm doing okay. And boy, that sure felt great. And that's why people pleasing is so bad. And that's why we have to learn that self-love can be the most important gift that you ever, ever, ever give yourself. All right. So there's my segue. Let's go to lesson number 17 of self-love. Sorry. I don't want to say OCD, but I have to check mark my things and I didn't check mark yesterday. So, number 17, when was the last time you indulged yourself and how? When was the last time you indulged yourself and how? And why? What made you indulge yourself? Maybe you did really well at work. Maybe you got a bonus. Maybe like me today, you had like super clarity and decided, whoa, this is mind blowing. I want to do something for myself today, like cut my hair. But I know, I'm just, you know what? This is why. So older sibling, for those of you who are new, she's my best friend, but she really is like an older sibling to me. And since my mom has passed, she's kind of become like a pseudo mom. So, I'm just doing this to egg her on. I may cut my hair. I don't know yet. It will not be today, or maybe it will. But, right now it's just to annoy her because that's what baby siblings do. That's what younger siblings do. Except my baby sibling. She doesn't do that. She's, who's my cousin. She behaves. Think of me as like the middle child between the two of them. Marsha. So, I'm the mischievous troublemaker. But, can you see my halo? I mean, look at the light behind me. It's like shining right on me. Like God is just saying, you're amazing. You're lovely. So yeah, older siblings. I'm the old angel of goodness. Her grandmother named her that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So when was the last time you indulged yourself and how? I'm actually trying to think. I don't know. And I'm being honest. I don't know. I mean, for me, because I do share my perspective, as you know, for anybody that's new, I share my perspective on these, hoping to prompt other people to be completely open and honest with their own. But I'm being perfectly honest. I don't know. Well, okay, so older sibling says I went to Colorado, but that's not really indulging myself because we come here for our aunt's birthday every year. She just turned 90 yesterday. But I'm not sure that is actually indulging myself because that's something that we plan. To me, indulging yourself is something that you do for you that you wouldn't normally do for yourself. Like, maybe you see somebody's having a bad day, right? So you sit there and you're like, you know what? I know that their favorite coffee is this. Case in point, when I was still at my job, I had a friend who every so often would stop at Dunkin' Donuts. And sometimes she would ask me if I want coffee. So, oh my God, their coffee with just creamer? Damn. And sometimes she would just surprise me. And to me, when she would surprise me, that would be something that I would do as an indulgence to somebody else. Not to make myself feel good, but just because I know if they're not having a good day, or you know that they're just, maybe the day before they had a bad day, they're trying to do something nice for them, which I guess is kind of indulging myself because it makes me feel good inside, right? Or makes somebody feel good inside. But when we talk about when was the last time you indulged yourself and how, um, if baby sibling doesn't mind, I'm actually going to use her as an example on this one. Um, every year she tries to go to her Arbonne conventions, and great products. I mean, this is not a plug, okay, but I don't get paid by these people to say these things, but I use these products, so I know they're really, really good. And I'm running out of fizz sticks. But, which by the way, fizz sticks are like natural caffeine. And I'm sharing this because I think after 2.5 hours to 3 hours of sleep yesterday, that's the only thing that kept me functional. And I'm not supposed to have caffeine, but it is a natural pick me up. So, it, my little heart didn't have to worry about, just because it gives you a boost, but not the kind where you just fall apart later because you got that sugar high or that caffeine high and then you just flatten, right? This one helps you level out. So, so she's giving me permission. She goes to these things. They are for her. She is indulging herself when she does this. It is something she loves. It's very motivational for her. It's very inspirational for her. She's hanging around with her other team members from that are scattered around. I don't know if it's the Western U.S. or everywhere, but whatever. Just definitely scattered around the Western U.S. And when she comes home, you can see this light that clicks inside of her. Even while she's there, when you see the picture she's posting, it's kind of like, because it's for her. It's for her. She's doing something for her mental health. She's doing something for her benefit. And it's not to make anybody else happy. It's not to, indulge anybody else. She's indulging herself. She is, giving herself this break. She goes out, she has fun. They'll party, they'll do all these fun things. And it's just, okay, the world. Well, when I meant team members, I meant the members on your own team. But Arbonne is a worldwide thing. So, but there are people around the world that come to this. And, but you can see the light shining in her eyes when she's with her team, the team that she belongs in. And it's really, truly a beautiful thing to see. She's been through a lot, as as I've mentioned. She lost her husband 3 years ago, to a workplace accident. And, my nephews were only, God, I think 5 and 8 at the time. In fact, it happened the day after my older nephew's birthday. So there's a range of emotions that she has had to deal with over the last couple of years. And the family has grieved together. They've grown together. She's navigating a whole new world out there when it comes to, just being single. And that's not easy. It was hard. I've never been married. I've been engaged, but I've never been married. But, being single can be hard. One of the reasons I think I'm single is because I'm one of these weird people that just wants it to happen organically. I tried online dating. It broke me emotionally because, if you don't get hits or anything, you start to feel like, well, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I'm not worthy. And I thought, what, fuck it. I'm just gonna be that person that tries to do it the organic way, just see what happens. And because I need to keep myself in a good place. And I used to be angry that I was single for so long. But I'm not anymore because I have perspective. I have beautiful people around me. I have wonderful siblings. I have electronics. Yes, I said that, and I don't care. But, it gives me the giggles because it's like, I can't believe I just said that. But you know what? I really don't fucking care. I'm a human, okay? Humans have needs. And it's either that or you get the hangry version of me. Nobody wants a bitch, so I take care of myself. I take care of my needs. But, huh? Go ride a horse. The horse might throw me off. The horse may be riding me. I don't know. I'm sorry. You see, I gotta stop doing that. I was putting myself down because of my weight, and I've gotta not do that anymore. I have to learn how to love myself exactly as I am. And that is why I do these. That's why I'm doing this along with you. But the point is, she went through a lot of shit. She's been going through a lot of shit. She has had to help people along their way through their shit. And somehow she still stays afloat. I don't know. If I had to deal with that, it might have broken me by now. Literally. And, but she doesn't just do it for her children. She does it for herself too, because she knows in her heart that she's worth it. And she's got a lot more, well, older sibling and baby sibling have way more patience than I do. I really, you know what? If we actually grew up in the same family, I really do think I'd be the typical middle child. Oh, but anyways, I'm getting better. But I love that she went to her conference because that was her indulgence. That was, it's away from home, jump on a plane, meet your peeps, stay in hotel rooms with a bunch of people that you love. Even her and her girlfriends took a trip to San Diego, girls that she grew up with that she hadn't seen in a while. And they took this really nice kind of resort weekend. That was another indulgence. And I know sometimes when you're a parent, and especially if you're a single parent, in whatever way, whether it's because you're a widow like she is, or because, life just panned out that way for you, you were allowed to indulge yourself. And don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Okay? Because that's where you find your peace. If you keep going and going and going, and you don't give yourself some compassion and empathy, and you don't give yourself some slack, you are going to drive yourself into the ground. So, no matter who you are, it is okay to indulge yourself. Some people will say, well, that's just ego, or that's just this, and you don't know how to handle things. No. People that tell other people how to live their lives, it's because they can't fix their own. I speak from experience. I do. And I'm not ashamed to say that anymore. I spent a good part of the last 2 years, especially, trying to fix other people because I was too ashamed to face my own problems. I was too ashamed to face the healing I needed to, because I was tired. I felt damaged. I felt broken. I felt like there was just, I felt like I was that person at the bottom of the well that no one could help out, that no one had a rope for. Every time they walked by, they talked to me, but I felt useless. And I couldn't heal myself. So I almost damaged, irreparably, very important relationships in my life because I was trying to fix everybody else. Because, I don't know. I have no reasons. I really don't, except for the fact that I couldn't heal myself, and I didn't want to face it anymore. I was just too tired. And instead of just taking a break and taking a beat and saying, it's okay to stop right here and just give yourself some grace, I tried to keep moving forward. And in doing that, I almost hurt again. I almost caused irreparable damage to some of my, my family relationships. And I used to be ashamed of that, but I'm not anymore, because now I see it as a learning tool to not do that. When you find yourself trying to fix somebody else, it's because there's pain inside of you. And there will probably be a million people that'll argue that and say, well, you don't know that. That's not statistically proven. If you're like me, it's proven. And I'm your proof. Ta-da! So, hey, I don't have this golden light shining above me. Well, not golden. It's actually white. But I don't have that, that little angelic light shining to the left of me for no reason. I'm magical. So, just listen to me and heed what I say. I really tried to say that with a straight face. I just couldn't. But no, seriously though. If you're going to argue that point, if you're watching this later and saying that's not true, I'm just trying to be helpful. Stop and think about it for a while. What is hurting inside of you that makes you feel like you can make somebody else's life better by fixing it? You know, we can't fix other people. Only they can. Only other people can heal themselves. But we can be there for them. We can be supportive. We can listen. From time to time, I've learned different tools. I'll ask if I'm having a conversation with someone in particular. I'll say, do you mind if I say something? Or do you mind if I add something? Or may I say something about this? And I give them the option. Because they may say, you know what, I just really want you to listen. Or they may say, sure, what are your thoughts? And that doesn't mean it's going to fit their situation. But what it means is that you're giving them something new to think about. Or you're just giving them your company, because sometimes that's all they need. And I almost messed things up because I wasn't willing to see that, because I was so hurt and I was so broken that I just didn't want anyone else to feel like I did. And that's the truth. It's not a pity comment, but it's the truth. I didn't want anyone to feel as broken as I did. But again, I can't heal other people's pain. I can support them through it. I can hold their hand through it. I can hug them through it. I can let them just lean on me through it. But we find clarity in our own journey. And again, the reason I'm not ashamed of sharing that anymore is because I realized that was a lesson I had to learn. And once I learned that the very, very hard way, it put me right back on my journey and reminded me that this is my journey and nobody else's. And I'm very, very grateful, and you know who you are out there. I'm very, very grateful that they didn't give up on me. They were mad at me for a while. But I'm very, very grateful that they did not give up on me, that they understood where I was coming from, even though it was hurting them. And I don't know. I want to say it. I'm going to say it. It was baby sibling and I. And I'm not sure if she's okay with me sharing that, but I had to, because you all know how much my sisters mean to me. You know how important they are to me. They are as important to me as my dad. And without either of them, I couldn't have made it through this journey. And I'm getting emotional because I'm seeing it now. I'm having that clarity in this moment of how important they are. And maybe that's my indulgence right now, is I'm indulging my feelings, and I'm showing you all that when people don't give up on you, it's because they believe in you. It's because they know that it's a moment. And I hold no ill will. I caused those problems. And I caused those problems because, I just didn't know how to deal with my own things. And I am very grateful. And I'm very grateful to older sibling too, because she didn't give up on me either. These are two very, very amazing, beautiful human beings that I have in my life that never quit on me, even when I gave them 1,000 reasons to walk away. And it's got to be pretty bad when you feel like people should walk away from you. But they didn't. They hung in there. They're my warriors. They are. They are my support warriors. And I am 100% grateful for them. So I wasn't really able to answer the question today from my own perspective. But again, I hope sharing baby sibling story about going to her convention and, her kids had fun. I'm not sure if I think they were with Nana and Papa, but, they're Nana and Papa, but, and having a good time. But Mom went out there and she had a blast. She had a good time. She indulged herself, and she just left her cares at her front door and went out and enjoyed herself, and that's what it's all about. It really, really is. I guess if I were to pick something very recent, yesterday on the way back, I was super duper tired after visiting our aunt on her birthday. And I indulged myself in a very small way. off of the freeway, I saw this really neat old mining shack. It was like a mining company, and there were some other buildings around it. But I became so determined to find this place so I could get a picture of it. And I posted the picture. And I guess in a small way, that was indulging myself because I love photography. I don't know how to use a camera like professionals do, but I did have a professional photographer who just happened to be older sibling's dad tell me that I had the eye. And to hear that from a professional photographer who was, well respected in his field, that meant a lot. He loved my photography. He loved the pictures I took. And he says, you have the eye. And so whenever I take pictures of keyholes and doors, don't make fun of me, because for me, and I can't speak, I know she's laughing because I do. When I was in England, I can't tell you how many doors and keyholes I took pictures of, but there's more to it than just a door and a keyhole. Every door and every keyhole is a story. It's a part of history, whether it's a 20-year history or a 500-year-old history. There's a story behind it. And when I take a picture of it, I'm just curious about the story. And so maybe that's how I indulge myself. I stop and take pictures. That old mining shack, I called it one of Colorado's not so hidden gems because it's literally, you can see it's right out in the open on off the freeway. But there's a story there. There's history there. Idaho Springs is where the gold rush actually started. And this was a mining shack or a mining building in this town and on the outskirts of the town. And I mean, literally, this town is so small you could pretty much spit from one end to the other. But there's a story there. And so I guess that's my indulgence. I indulged myself yesterday, and poor older sibling had to sit in the car while I tried to figure out how to find this place, because it was a weird path. Wasn't it? It was actually a weird path to get there. But she indulges me. So because it's like, I want to go see, I want to take a picture of this, and bam, she's like, okay, let's go. Very easy going. Oh yeah. Yeah, her dad literally outran police. I know. To get a picture of the sunset. Was it a sunset?
No, the wheat fields.
Oh, the wheat fields. But I think it was a wheat fields at sunset. There was a certain lighting.
No, just the lighting.
Yeah, he was going for a certain lighting, and he was speeding because he was losing the lighting. And I can share the story because it's old. I think the story might be older than me. I don't know. But
Grandmother in the car.
He had his mother in the car. And her grandmother. So yes, I mean, older sibling was born already. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to end it on that. So tomorrow's Self-Care Wednesday. It's going to be a little bit different, but it's still Self-Care Wednesday. I did bring the ritual deck with me, so yay. So we'll start with those. But I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day today. If you can't think of anything that you did to indulge yourself, there's no time like the present. Whether it's a massage, whether it's a coffee you want, whether it's that piece of cake that you're afraid of. Let me put this right now. I'm going to put it out there. Destigmatize food. Okay? No one says you have to inhale an entire cake. But you can have a slice. Okay? I had a big breakthrough yesterday with my emotional eating. I'm going to share this. I know I said I was going to close this down, but I forgot. I wanted to share this today. You all know my struggle with emotional eating and how when especially when there's situations that get so tense that it's just like, I want cookies, or I want cake, or I want something. And, we were on our way back up the mountain, and I told older sibling, I said, do you want to stop and get something to eat? I was getting a little hungry. And, it dawned on me then, because I told her, I said, I didn't finish my lunch. Because I was just so worked up about, we had a technical issue yesterday, and being out of state and having to deal with it was not easy. Fortunately, a really good friend of mine was taking care of it. A really good friend of ours was taking care of it on the other end. But trying to tag team and get everything set up and arranged is not easy when you're out of town. And everything was just going so badly. And on the way back up the hill, I told sibling, I said, you know what? I said, I was just so angry and so sad for both of you of having to deal with this that I just lost my appetite. And it dawned on me. I didn't want to eat. I've lost my appetite like a normal fucking human being. I was so excited. So, as you can tell, I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I dropped the F-bomb in there because it was like, I can't believe it. I was so excited. I called baby sibling. I'm like, guess what? It's like, I was so emotional that I lost my appetite. And for other people that are watching this, you're going to be like, well, most people do. No, my emotions would make me want to eat. And it was just like, you didn't get this gorgeously beautiful by not having emotional eating problems, right? So I know I'm trying to be positive about myself. So I'm not taking that back because I'm trying to love myself more. And, but yeah, so that was my huge breakthrough. So you know what? Don't give up on yourselves. Notice the signs. Notice how you're healing, even if it feels like it takes forever. Notice how it comes to you and how you find those signs. And I mean, the worst part about it though is when I realized that I was driving. So it's just like, it's a good thing I'm a good driver. And yes, I am a good driver. But I'm still excited about that. I'm still excited about the fact that I lost my appetite because I was so upset. And everything did work out fine, but I was more worried about the people that had to deal with it more directly than I did, which was older sibling and our friend. And it was just a very good feeling. It was a very good feeling to have. So again, tomorrow, Self-Care Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Facebook Live, every live is public. You can find it under Shelly Marie Lucas. We do not need to be friends for you to watch it. Anybody can watch. Or I upload these later to the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas on YouTube. And I also share it to Twitter. And I also share it to my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank you to baby sibling and older sibling for letting me share a lot of our personal stuff and for letting me use baby sibling as an example. And yeah, thanks for indulging me today. See what I did there? I didn't even do it on purpose. All right. I'm getting punchy. I'm going to go. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see everybody tomorrow.